ஓகே, எப்படிப்பா இருக்கீங்க? ஸோ இட் ஹாஸ் பீன் 9 months ஃபார் மீ சீயிங் ஃபேஸ். ஸோ இட் வாஸ் ரியலி இந்த புதுசாக இருக்கு. I feel like first time when I was taking the same feeling I am getting. Super. Thanks for taking initiative in coming. Because no, இப்போ யாராவது ஒருத்தர் முயற்சி எடுக்கணும் இல்லை, someone should start at somewhere. Otherwise, no, it will completely go into online mode. So how was your reaction? Online live இல்ல face to face? எது face to face? Fed up இல்ல? Okay. And see, actually no, I just started this venture. So inside commerce studies anu. So நான் கிடையாது. So it's the support of students தான். So you know what has happened. So because you have been Chennai தானே நீங்க எல்லாமே, and MTED care தானே? Okay, everyone is from MTED care. So you know what has happened. So அந்த எபிசோட் எல்லாமே செம்மையா போச்சுல்ல. That's why you know I do not want to join again the same people. இப்போ வந்து அவங்க 2 பேரும் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாங்க, திருப்பி அவங்க 3 பேர் அங்கே போயிட்டு திருப்பி இங்கே வந்து. ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு ஹேப்பன். ஒரு ஃப்ரெஷ் ஸ்டார்ட்டாக இருக்கட்டும் தான் லைக் இட் ஸ்டார்டட். அண்ட் இது when is your group to May 21 தானே? May 21 தானே? ஓகே, சூப்பர். சி வாட் இஸ் ஸ்பெஷல் வித் அஸ் நான் சொன்னேன்னா, அப்பார்ட் ஃப்ரம் டேக்கிங் கிளாஸஸ் இட்ஸ் மோர் ஆஃப் exam oriented and preparation. Because see, taking classes or conveying the subject is one side, but practicing that and taking to the exam hall is on the other side. How much ever you may practice. இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ஃபேஸ் டு ஃபேஸ் கிளாஸில் இருக்கிற ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் டவுட் கிளாரிஃபை பண்ணலாம் இல்லையா? அதே மாதிரி ஒரு ஒன் சைடடாக இருக்கும்போது நீங்கள் எவ்வளோதான் வீட்டில் உட்காந்து ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணாலும் யூ வில் நாட் நோ ஹவு இட் வில் பி ஆஸ்ட் இன் எக்ஸாம். வில் யூ அக்ரி வித் மீ? Because in exam how it will be, definitely no one knows. So we will be thinking that whatever we do is correct. Actually the fact is that we will all try to do audit of question and answers. Fact. So we see the question and we see the answer and okay, இது இப்படி தான் வந்துச்சு, but we will never practice. We will never put it for test. So our focus is more on testing rather than just like giving the information or giving knowledge. It is more of test. You have to take lot of exams you need to write. Only then you know how you can cope up, because there are a lot of things. Time management is one important aspect which we will all don't know. So we will see the question பார்த்துட்டு ஐயோ லைக் question படிக்கிறதுக்கே டைம் ஆகிடும். It will take hell lot of time. ஒரு 5 minutes 10 minutes 15 minutes கூட ஆகும் questionக்கு. And we will be struck up, இங்கே blank-ஆ இருக்கும். And class கவனிக்கும் போது you will be feeling like okay, I understood everything. But when you put the pen on the paper, you will not know where to start and where to end. See, all these problems which I have seen from other students facing. So I thought okay, there should be a place where lot of tests are given importance rather than just taking classes also, rather than spending more time on discussing, it should be more of you to practice. Correct? Because if you take group 2, in group 2 advanced accounting, financial management, so it is 160 marks, and economics is 40 marks. Theory, pure theory. Then EASSM is pure theory. Auditing is also pure theory. How much ever you may be good at theory, but you cannot expect good marks there, because our presentation the valuer may not like. அதுக்காக ஸ்டடி மெட்டீரியல் காப்பி பண்ணிட்டு எழுத முடியாது. No way. So we cannot write just like how it is there in the study material. So we need to depend on the practical subject. Why group 2 many students fail is because of this reason only. Group 1ல நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா cost accounting compared to advanced accounting is a little bit easy. Then taxation, ஸோ டாக்ஸேஷனும் ஜிஎஸ்டி ஒரு 40 மார்க்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு 30 மார்க்ஸ் ஸ்கோர் பண்ணிடலாம். And income tax also to some extent, some 15-20 marks somehow we can score. And law also easy only, like getting 40s 50s is not difficult. But group 2, this is the problem where many students will fail because of they will not focus on practical subjects, even they will not be preparing for the theory subjects also. Okay, so what is that we need to do right now is that, as your exams is in May, already you wrote group 1, okay, so it will take some time to get the results, correct? So you should not be bothered about whether you are going to clear in group 1 or not. Done? So take it out. So right now what is your feeling? Your feeling should be like, we are going to clear group 1. Let the result come, thereafter we will see. So now the mental block will be gone, or tension irukad. Now wholeheartedly start preparing for group 2. And in group 2, see, I am taking financial management, and Omkar sir you already know, so he is taking economics. So this subject, this 100 marks paper, I can guarantee you minimum to minimum 60 to 70 we will guarantee. Okay, then advanced accounting, there is one faculty by name Sampath sir. So he is having some 25 years of experience in teaching, very good faculty. So when he comes, you will get to know like how he is taking class, so you can trust me, so I can vouch for him. Then this auditing, there is one person by name Ram Harsha. So I will share the material with you. You see his material, actually is very good material. எப்படி இருக்குன்னா ஒரு question, like ஒரு கான்செப்ட், அந்த கான்செப்ட்ல இருந்து எப்படி பாஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம் क्वेश्चंस கேட்டிருக்காங்க and எவ்வளவு அட்டெம்ப்ட்ஸ் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு ஆடிட் ஆஃப் பேங்க்ஸ் அண்ட் ஃபினான்ஷியல் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ் ஒரு கான்செப்ட், how the questions are asked and how many attempts that questions got repeated, like that he made a superb book. And he said like I will somehow ensure that the students are clearing. So that is for auditing. Because auditing, what happens, majority of the cases we will know the concept, but we don't know for which question to write what answer. That's a major problem that every student faces in auditing. Then EAS and Sri Harsha, already I think you attended some online classes, so you know how we will be. And SM will be Osama Khan sir. So already he took for SM in MT Educare, so same thing. So it is like more or less the same team, except for the core subjects. And many times I feel some of the students கேட்பாங்க, சார் இந்த மாதிரி வந்து அவங்க 3 பேர் தானே சார் மெயின். நான் சொல்லுவேன், அவங்க 3 பேர் எங்கப்பா கிளாஸ் எடுத்தாங்க, அவங்க கிளாஸ் எடுத்திருந்தா மெயினா இருக்கும், அவங்க நிறைய கொடுத்துட்டாங்க, they gave it to other faculties. So அதனால வந்து see, I cannot say that we are great. I can say we will make effort to great, because எனக்கு இது ஸ்டார்ட் அப்பா, என்ன மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாருக்குமே இது ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் அப். ஸோ நாங்கள் எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ முயற்சி எடுத்து, how much ever we teach to you, you will definitely speak about us only, no? Will you agree? See, இப்போ மார்க்கெட்டிங்னால ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வருவாங்களா, இல்லை கிளாஸ் ஒழுங்காக இருந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வருவாங்களா? லாஜிக் கரெக்ட். ஸோ அந்த கிளாஸ் ஒழுங்காக இருக்கணும்னா we have to put an effort. That's what we are trying. You understood, no? So I'm making the objective clear. So with the available good faculties, I wanted to give you the best coaching, and I will be here. At any time you can ask anything to me, because I am only looking after this. என்ன வேணாலும் கேளுங்க, எது சப்போஸ் இது வேணும் சார், இந்த சப்போர்ட் வேணும் சார், I am ready to do, and you all know about me. So not that because when I was in MT Educare also, நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து இப்போ வந்து டிஸ்கவுண்ட் சார், ஓகே எடுத்துக்கோங்க, இது வேணும் சார், பிகாஸ் அந்த கம்ஃபர்ட் கண்டிப்பாக இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி வந்து ஆல்ரெடி 5 students are attending here, and remaining students are attending in some live. ஸோ லைவ்ல ஏதோ ஒரு 5 பேரோ என்னமோ இருக்காங்க. ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் நோ ஹவு மச் இஸ் த நம்பர், பட் ஐ லைக் face to face. Because online live, no, I am not interested in online live. because I got bugged up for last 9 months. ரே கேமராவை பார்த்துட்டு இப்போ மூஞ்சி பார்க்கும்போது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. Because it's like, see, you cannot interact with camera and you cannot see camera's eyes. இப்போ நீங்க தலையாட்டுறீங்க இல்லையா, அது கேமரா ஆட்டாதேப்பா, அது புரிஞ்சுதா இல்லையா? ஸோ அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்து என்ன நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கான், we will not know. Because the advantage in face to face is that I can see your eyes and I can get to know whether you understood or not. இப்போ புரியலையா இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம், அதுவும் புரியலையா இன்னும் ஈஸி பண்ணி சொல்லலாம், ஒத்துக்கிறீங்களா? பட் when it comes to this online live, I will not be able to see their face. Even if they see also, they will be sitting in one corner, bedroomல உட்காருவாங்க, எங்கெங்கோ உட்காருவாங்க. And அது கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறது எனக்கு கிளாஸ் எடுத்த மாதிரியே இல்லை, ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபீலிங் இருந்தது. ஸோ தட்ஸ் த ரீசன் வை. ஸோ ஐ ப்ரிஃபர்ட் ஆன் ஃபேஸ் டு ஃபேஸ். See, at this COVID time, actually, I know that many students will not come, etc. and all. But let's start, because when we start only, others also will feel like, okay, already attend பண்றாங்க வரலாம்னு சொல்லி. So on war footing, we took these premises, we have made the arrangements. அதே ஃபீலிங் இருக்குல்ல, எம்டி கேர் ஃபீலிங். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு என்வாயன்மெண்ட் எடுத்துன்னு வந்து அப்போ they will also feel like, okay, நல்லா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி. ஸோ இதுதான் ஃபேக்ட். ஓகே, ஃபைன். So let's move on to the subject, that is financial management. First question paper pattern solreen. Okay, see, this financial management is for 60 marks, you all know, paper 8A. So financial management vandu paper, see, this paper 8 has some total 6 questions pa. Question number 1 is compulsory question, and that question number 1 is for 20 marks. Then between question number 2 to question number 6, so total 5 questions, you need to attempt any 4 and 10 marks each. This is how the paper pattern was from 2018 May till recent November 20 exam. And in this, the last question, this question number 6 is there now, the last question. So that last question was only theory. The last question was a theory question, exclusively theory question. Okay, so therefore, if you ask me what is the weightage of practical and theory in financial management, I can say the weightage is 50:10, because question number 1 was fully practical, 2, 3, 4, 5 was also practical. So one choice question is there na, so which means only for 10 marks it is asked. If you prepare for only problematic questions also, you can completely write for 50 marks practical questions. Okay, but my advice is read few theory questions. See, some important theory questions I will tell. That important theory questions you prepare, so that what will happen, suppose if a practical question is very big, example, there is one area called as working capital management. Estimation of working capital requirement is a very, very big question. So whenever that question comes, if you see the prima facie, when you see, if you feel like this is a big question, just check the theory questions. If the theory questions are easy, better attempt the theory question, because time is important there, because you have to complete the paper in 3 hours. In that, economics is also there, that also you have to write, and we don't have objective in economics. If it is taxation or auditing, we have objective. Even AISSM we have objective, no, but in economics there is no objective, so you have to write. When it is to be written, definitely time will be no problem. So due to that reason, my suggestion is some important theory questions. They have not changed the paper pattern, trust me. May 2018 onwards till November 20 I have seen not even one theory question they gave it in the regular question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Only the last question was the theory question. That too for some 4 marks theory question, 3 marks theory question, like that it will be. Okay, so this is the question paper pattern is going to be. and definitely they will not change, don't worry. Okay, but on a safer side, that's the reason why we are preparing on to some important theory questions. Okay, but there are some concept theory, dedicatedly theory questions is what I said in the last, but concept theory questions will be there. Concept theory questions means application of the concept and you have to explain the theory. Example, leverages. Leverages, they will give the degree of operating leverage is 1.2. Comment on the financial position of the company. Question. Okay. So then what is that you need to write is based on the concept. So for concept learning, we will learn. That is normal, that we will not change. Whenever it is a concept theory question, superbly we can write. Suppose if we get a question, write a short note on American depository receipts or write a short note on global depository receipts. Like that, when you are getting a question, there you cannot write anything. Only when you know this concept you can write. Only when you have read that question you can write. But based on the classes you cannot write anything. Are you getting this? So therefore, our focus will be more onto concept and the practical questions. Theory questions we will see in the last. I'll tell you these are the important theory questions. I'll create some shortcuts and I'll tell you, you remember that and you go for exam. But right now we will be focusing more onto the concept and then practical questions on that concepts. Okay. Then see this weightage, if you ask me, so I told you already the weightage is now practical some 50%, 50 marks will be practical and theory will be exclusive theory is only for 10 marks. Okay. So this is the ratio. Usually it will be 50:10. In that 60 marks I am telling. But suppose in extreme cases, fully practically prepare pannalum pass agalam da solla varan. Ena ipo vandu question number 2 to 5 10 marks. So there for 40 marks practical. If you leave the theory question number 6, then question number 1 will be 20 marks. So entire 60 marks you can write only if you learn practical. But better we will keep this as the weightage and go. Okay. Then next, how the classes is going to be. Today you have been provided with the handout, but you will be given a book. For every subject you will be provided book. For FM, one book will be there. That book will contain the concept and some solved questions and some practice questions for solving in the class. Apart from that, some handouts will be provided to you. So that handouts will be based on some past exam questions and all. Okay, for solving purpose. Then next 100% we will be completing our study material. That is the target. All sums in the study material should be completed. And for your information, there is a revised study material that has been provided. If you see, Board of Studies, that knowledge portal, from May 21 attempt onwards, they have revised the study material. You will see two links you will see. For May 2020 exam, up to May 21 exam, then May 21 exam onwards, like that, another set of study material they have given. They have revamped and they have added some more questions. All those questions we will do. The advantage I will tell you. Whenever study material changes, many times institute will take questions from the study material and they will ask in the exam. New study material. So therefore they will take questions from that. So many study material questions are possible because it happened in 2018. May 2018, that is the first time when CA Inter new syllabus was made applicable. At that time, they did the same thing. What they did, that they took the questions from new study material and they have asked in all the subjects. So therefore, study material questions this time we will complete fully so that the same type of question may also come in exam. We don't know. Okay. Then next, test will be conducted after completion of every chapter. The test will be done except for first chapter, because first chapter is just the introduction. So on that no test and all. But thereafter next chapter onwards the test will be conducted for you. Okay. Then this what is that you should be having? Buy one ruled notebook. Okay, pa. See, you are starting the preparation for group 2. So therefore that sincerity you should be having. So buy one ruled notebook. and buy one file to keep the handouts, whatever handouts that are provided, keep it. Okay. Then 3 color pens you should be having. One blue for solving the answer, black for writing the notes, but those notes are for understanding purposes, not for exam. Then red for highlighting, so important points, because see, it's not that you have to solve 1000 questions. If you solve 100 questions and if you really understood those 100 questions, logic, you can definitely answer any type of question. If you ask me, sir, can you tell me from which book I need to study? I cannot say. You solve 100 questions, but you will get one or first question in the exam. That's a trend. So whatever we solve, we will never get in exam, because they will be creating, they have a set of faculties for that purpose, they have a set of team, so to create the question papers. So due to that reason, always every attempt, because if you see suggested answers also, past exam questions, one attempt இன்னொரு attempt இருக்காது. Have you ever observed that? Because theory questions are common, but practical questions, when you see in one attempt, that will not be there in the other attempt. They will change. Somewhere they will be adding some twist, or they will be adding some special point. It is because they create the questions in exam for that reason. Okay. So our focus should be more on learning what is inside the question rather than format. It's not the format which you need to give importance. It is how it should be, because format we will learn and go, but in exam we may not get the same type of question. If they change it, we will not know what we need to do. புரியுதாப்பா நான் சொல்றது? So therefore you have to maintain these 3 pens, and wherever I tell this highlighted points, there you need to highlight that and you need to write. Okay. Then now I move on to the subject. What is this financial management is? Financial management is nothing but management of funds here. Financial management is nothing but management of funds. What is management of funds mean? Okay, management of funds. Management of funds. So what is financial management? Management of funds. What is that funds I mean to say? That is, every business will require some funds, sources of funds and utilization of funds. Correct? So there are 2 aspects here: procurement of funds and utilization of funds. When I say management of funds, there are 2 aspects. So funds procurement also we will manage, and utilization also we will manage. So procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Okay. Now listen carefully. Now many people will get the excitement to start the business. Lot of innovative ideas they will be having, and they will be having excitement to start the business. I'll share one such situation. Say one person is there. He wanted to start a food business, because today food business is booming like anything. Correct? Even during COVID also, the first business that got revived is food business. Swiggy and all that they used to do no contact delivery, like that. The food business will always be having the limelight. One person decided to start the food business. Now what is the challenge that he will be having? See, business idea he has, but to start the business he need money na. So that money, if he is not having, he will get it from different source. Borrow, he will take loans, or he will ask from his friends, or he may sell the jewelry whatever is there at his house, and he will invest that into the business. Correct? That is known as procurement of funds or sources of funds. Okay, that is known as procurement of funds or sources of funds. Whereas once he get the money, what he will do immediately? He will invest. Correct? When he is investing, for what purpose he will invest? In order to generate a return. புரியுதாப்பா? So he will be investing. So here investment is in what? That may be short-term investment or long-term investment. But he spend money. But every time he spend money, இப்போ நம்ம வீட்டில் வந்து ஏதாவது பிஸ்னஸ் ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது பணம் கொடுத்துட்டு என்ன கேட்பாங்கன்னா பார்த்து செலவு பண்ணணுவாங்க. Because initially what we will do, we will be spending robustly without knowing whether we will be recovering or not, because there the business is guided by the passion. So we will invest, we will not know whether we will recover or not. So properly the fund should be utilized. Okay, so utilization of funds is nothing but investment. Okay, so utilization of funds or investment of funds, utilization of funds or investment of funds. So can I say this procurement of funds or source of funds as inflow? Sollamappa, inflow. And this utilization of funds or investment of funds under the outflow. Okay. And what are the sources from which we can take money? We can procure the money either long-term sources or short-term sources. Okay. From business perspective, you see, long-term sources means what? Long-term sources means equity capital. Okay, so far I have been giving a normal example, but let's see business, purely a company when it starts. What are the sources of capital that it requires? Long-term capital. Then that is long-term capital in the form of equity, debentures. Their own money means equity. If they borrow means that can be either debentures or that can be loans. Correct? So debentures means they will be giving the instruments and they will get money. Loans means they will get the bank loans. Correct? Then short term is what? When they need to do business, they will be approaching the raw material supplier to give the credit. Correct? That is the short term financing. Then bank overdraft. So we will get a bank overdraft. So whenever we need some emergency cash, so we will be taking that overdraft. All these are examples of short term sources. Correct? So when we say sources or procurement of funds, it can be long-term sources or it can be short-term sources. Same way, when we invest, we will not always invest in fixed assets. We have to invest on, the working capital also. That is nothing but the current assets. For example, when a company starts manufacturing of ACs, now they manufacture ACs. When they invest only on the manufacturing machinery, or they need to invest on the inventory also. They need to invest on inventory also. Will you agree with me? What's the point in having machinery? And if they say, let the customer come, place the order, I will manufacture and give. This is what JIT is, correct? Just in time. That is, the customer will come and place the order and the manufacturer will start doing the production and will do the delivery. But one of the major limitation of JIT system, just in time system, is stock out cost. Have you come across? What is stock out cost? ஒரு கஸ்டமர் வந்து கேட்கும்போது என்கிட்ட இல்லைன்னு சொல்றது தான் ஸ்டாக் அவுட் காஸ்ட். Okay, so when you say like I don't have the stock, means the profit margin involved in that stock is gone. Had you maintained the stock, you would have earned some margin. You are not having that stock, so that margin is gone. So that is the stock out cost. So no business will follow just in time, just like that. Okay, so what they will do? They will maintain the inventory. Raw material inventory they will maintain. Finished goods inventory they will maintain. And will they sell always on cash? No, they will be selling on credit basis also. Means my money is blocked there in the form of debtors. Correct? So when I say utilization of funds or investment of funds, that is divided into two. Short-term investment and long-term investment. Short-term investment and long-term investment. Short-term investment and long-term investment. Okay. Now, listen carefully. In all these places, we need to take some decisions. Okay. So what I'm telling, funds, when I say funds, it can be sources of funds, application of funds. In sources of funds also, management is required. Management means what? Decision. So taking care of certain decisions, taking certain decisions is known as management. So in sources of funds also, management is required. In application of funds also, management is required. In sources of funds, what is the objective of what is the objective behind the decision? We need to get funds at the lower cost. Correct? That is, you get a call here. Sir, we are offering personal loan at 12%. Okay. Now, you inquire in the other banks that you get a loan at 11%. And suppose if it is in the name of women, the interest rate is 10%. Now, what you will do? What your mind will say? Ask someone at home, and in their name we can take loan so that we will get a 10%. Correct? This is a simple management of procurement of funds. So what should be the objective? Reduce the cost of procurement. Okay. Whereas when it is investment, how the decision should be? When it is investment, or maximize what? Return. Procurement we have to minimize the cost. Whereas in investment, we should maximize the return. So which means some mind is required there. Yes or no? So it is not automated, some mind is required. So the one who gives that mind is the finance manager, and this job is known as financial management. Clear? So financial management is nothing but taking decisions related to procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Okay, what is financial management? Taking decisions relating to what? Procurement of funds and utilization of funds is known as financial management. So these decisions, whatever is there, related to procurement of funds, long-term procurement of funds is known as procurement of funds from the long-term sources is known as financing decisions or capital structure decisions. Okay, capital structure decisions or financing decisions. Capital structure decisions or financing decisions. Whereas decisions related to long-term investment, is known as capital budgeting decisions, or investment decisions. Which clear? Capital budgeting decisions or investment decisions. Okay. So decisions related to procurement of funds from long-term sources is known as capital structure decisions or financing decisions. Whereas decisions related to utilization of funds, that too where long-term investment is known as capital budgeting decisions or like investment decisions. Okay, investment decisions. Now, decisions related to this short-term procurement and utilization of funds. Decisions relating to short-term procurement and utilization of funds is known as working capital management decisions. Working capital management decisions. Okay, clear? So three crucial decisions that we have seen: financing decisions, investment decisions, and working capital management decisions. Financing is for long-term sources, procurement of funds, long-term sources. Investment is for long-term utilization of funds, as investment decisions. In both places we have the capital, and Why I say capital structure, because from which source, how much I should raise is the capital structure. 50% equity, 30% debt, 20% preference. That is the capital structure. Okay. Why I say capital budgeting? Because investment always have a limit. We cannot invest that much because our availability of funds is scarce. See, many people will say, if I have money, I will do this. Will you agree with me? See, there are a lot of ideas. Even every one of you will be having some idea in your mind. So if I do this business, I can generate this much money. But what is falling short? Money. End of the day, money. Correct or not? Suppose, if I really have money, then definitely what I would have done, I would have acquired one top coaching center for CA in Chennai. Correct, Danipa? Yes or no? Correct? I can acquire, I can pay the premium and I can acquire. So that will become my business. So money will always be scarce. So the investment has got a budget. We cannot invest everything. So that's why capital budgeting. Okay. Capital structure there. Financing is capital structure. Investment is budgeting. Capital budgeting. Any decision related to short-term sources and application is known as working capital management. Okay. Now, when I invest into the business, what is the return that I get? When I invest into the business, what is that return I get? Is nothing but profit. Correct? Okay. So, what is the return that I get? I am investing in a business. Because of investing in the business, what I get is profit. Correct? Nothing but revenue minus cost. Whatever revenue, sales revenue minus expenses, if I take out, whatever left is my profit. And in financial management, we call it as operating profit. Okay? Operating profit is the return. Operating profit is the outcome. Operating profit is the outcome of what decisions? Capital budgeting or investment decision. Okay. And this operating profit has got a name, that is EBIT. What is EBIT? Earnings before interest and tax. Okay. Earnings before interest and tax. Generally in exam, when you come across operating profit, which is nothing but EBIT, don't get confused. Okay. Earnings before interest and tax. Whether expenses would have been reduced? Yes. Depreciation would have been reduced? Yes. Expenses, depreciation is over, but finance cost is not reduced. What is finance cost? Interest, preference dividend is not reduced. Okay. And the outcome of financing decision is what? The outcome of financing decision is what? The outcome of financing decision is what? Nothing but finance cost. Nothing but finance cost. The outcome of financing decisions is nothing but finance cost. Okay. So now we will be using this profit to make payment of the finance cost. So mainly in finance cost, what will be there? Interest and preference dividend. Sir, what about equity dividend? Equity dividend is not a cost. Will you agree with me? Equity dividend is not a cost. Why? Tamiliya solunga. Correct. Is there any compulsion for equity dividend? No. That's why it is not a cost. Okay. Clear? So why it is not considered as cost? Is there any compulsion that we need to pay equity dividend? No compulsion. If we have profits, we will pay. If we don't have profits, preference dividend, compulsion. What if we don't have profits? Maybe we can accumulate. Cumulative. Maybe we can accumulate and we may pay, but is it compulsory? Yes. Interest? We cannot even accumulate. Correct? We have to pay. That's why it is called as cost. Equity dividend is not a cost. Why it is not a cost? Only when you have, you pay. Otherwise, you don't have to pay. Okay. So now, this EBIT, when we meet, that is using this EBIT, we will pay the finance cost. Using this EBIT, we will pay the finance cost. Whatever balance that is left is known as, whatever balance that is left is known as earnings to equity shareholders. Earnings to equity shareholders. Earnings to equity shareholders. Understood? Okay. So, I am just giving you the flow chart again from the beginning. So, financial management is what? Management of funds. Management of funds means there are two things: procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Procurement of funds also known as source of funds. Utilization of funds is known as investment or application of funds. Procurement of funds is inflow, money will come, and utilization of funds is outflow, we will be investing. Now, this can be long term, short term. Sources from where we can raise funds can be long term, short term. Same way, investment can be long term, short term. Okay. So, long term, from which sources we raise, how much we need to raise, decisions relating to that is known as capital structure or financing decisions. Investment, in which project we need to invest, in which business we need to invest, those decisions is known as capital budgeting or investment decisions. Then any decision related to how much should be the current assets, how much should be the current liabilities, what should be the working capital, etc., that will be known as working capital management decisions. See, working capital management decision cannot be taken for granted, because it may be short term only, but major chunk will be blocked in that, and that will lead to liquidity problem. That will lead to liquidity problem. I'll give you the superb situation related to liquidity problem, which you all know. Okay, that is, you studied in one coaching center previously, correct? That coaching center is a public limited company. It has got assets. It has got assets. But what has happened? They were not having money to pay to their employees also. You understood? So what has happened? Employees left. When employees left, what happens? Faculties. First faculties left, because faculties was not paid, faculties left. Then employees was not paid, employees left. Then there is no one in the business. When there is no one in the business, they were forced to, that too because of the pandemic, completely gone. So what they did, they were forced to sell. You understood? Short term only, but see how much impact it is creating. Liquidity is very, very dangerous, because you may be rich enough. One more example I will tell you. Say, you know, your parents are really rich, very rich. Okay, money is not at all a problem for you. You missed your wallet. You lost your mobile phone. What is your situation? That is, if you call only, you will get money. If you have wallet, debit card or credit card or money, you will be there. Wallet is gone. Mobile is gone. Now, what is your situation? How much ever money you may be having, to reach your home or at least to make a call, you need to beg one person. Correct? This is what is I am calling as liquidity problem. Okay. They may be having lot of assets, but to pay the salaries or to pay the creditors, they cannot sell their assets. Na? That is a bad management policy. So that's the reason why how much should be the investment in short-term assets and how much should be from the short-term sources, etc. These decisions is working capital management decisions. Okay, that is also crucial. Next, the outcome of investment decisions is profit. The outcome or operating profit, EBIT. The outcome of financing decisions is finance cost, nothing but interest and preference dividend. When I use my EBIT to pay the finance cost, whatever is left is there now. That left is earnings to equity shareholders. Now, will we give this fully to equity shareholders? Will we give this fully to equity shareholders? No. Why we will not give it fully to equity shareholders? We should retain something and we will give something. That decision as to how much to retain and how much to give is known as dividend decisions. Okay. So that decisions as to how much to be retained and how much to be distributed as dividend is known as dividend decisions. Dividend decisions. Okay. So whatever earnings to equity shareholders that is there, dividend decisions deals with two aspects. That is, how much should be retained, how much should be retained earnings, how much should be retained earnings, and how much should be declared as dividend. Declaration of dividend. Okay. How much to retain and how much to be declared as dividend is, dividend decisions. Understood? Now, this dividend decisions, when I distribute the dividend to the shareholders. Correct here? So this declaration of dividend means what? I will be paying it to the shareholders. Amount paid to whom? Which shareholders? Very good. Amount paid to equity shareholders. Where retained earnings will go? Where retained earnings will go? This retained earnings will go into dash. In this you tell. Research accounting you said correct. In this source application. Is retained earnings a source of capital? Source of fund or not? See, when you get a profit, what you did? You retain. Correct? When you retain means what? It is in the business. It is one of the source of capital. Understood? Retained earnings is one of the source of capital. That's the reason why retained earnings we add it to reserves and surplus, and reserves and surplus always will be added to capital. Got it? When you say net worth of the company or capital of the company, we add reserves and surplus to the share capital. Na? Correct or not? Why? Because that is also one of the source of funds. Okay. So retained earnings is nothing but source of funds. Source of funds. On retained earnings also you need to give return. On retained earnings also you should give return. It is like, say, you have joined me and we started business. Okay. Now you are all my shareholders. We started business and you gave me 1 lakh each capital. 5 lakhs capital you gave. And I started with business. After starting the business, I get a profit. I got profit of 50,000 rupees. Okay. So now I am telling you, this 50,000 rupees we will retain in the business for expansion. Okay, for expansion, and you agreed. Okay, sir, fine. You keep it. You keep it. But now when you calculate your investment, is it 1 lakh or 1,10,000? 1 lakh? Because that 50,000 is also yours. That 50,000 also is yours. Rather than taking it, you are leaving it in the business so that there will be an expansion. So your capital is not now 1 lakh, your capital is 1,10,000. So when you expect a return, you will not expect on 1 lakh, you will expect on 1,10,000, which means the company should pay return even on retained earnings. Got it? Now, in this, one decision I will tell you how it will change. For example, I am telling this. That 10,000 rupees if I retain, I will give you 5% return. If the 10,000 rupees I am retaining, I will give you 5% return. Now tell me whether it is advisable to retain or it is advisable to pay as dividend. From your point of view, tell me. Your 10,000 is with me, pa. How much return I will pay? 5%. Clear? 5% I will pay. Now tell me, is it okay to keep 10,000 or you want that 10,000? Okay to keep 10,000, huh? Okay. Why? Return is only 5%. Return is only 5%. Okay, so what? You're comparing with something. No. Return means on the 10,000, I will pay you 5% in future. That is 1 lakh you gave me. This 10,000 rupees also you are giving me. I am telling on this 10,000, this is your investment. It will not change. Your investment is now 1,10,000. Now on the 10,000, I am paying you 5% return on investment. You understood? Which means on 10,000, how much I will earn? 500 I am earning. Okay. Now you tell me whether you want your 10,000 or it's okay that I will keep. Still same or changing the answer? இல்லப்பா இப்ப 10,000 ரூபாய் இருக்குப்பா என்கிட்ட, அது என்கிட்டயே இருந்தா நான் வந்து 500 ரூபாய் தான் அது மேல earn பண்ணி கொடுக்க முடியும்ப்பா. ஓகேவா? அதே உங்ககிட்ட 10,000 ரூபாய் இருந்தா இப்ப சொல்லுங்க, உங்களுக்கு வேணுமா நானே வச்சுக்கவா? You need. Why you need? If you keep the 10,000 elsewhere, you would have got more than 5%. Okay. So if the return that the shareholders can get elsewhere is greater than what company is paying, it's advisable to give the dividend. Got it? You understood? If the return what a company is able to generate is more than the opportunity cost of capital. Got it? This is the meaning of opportunity cost of capital. That is, if you invest elsewhere, you are getting simple fixed deposit you take, 7.5% of fixed deposit. Correct? I am giving 5% means simply you will ask, give that money sir, I will put in fixed deposit, I will generate 7.5%. So your opportunity cost of capital is how much? 7.5%. Okay, you can generate that return. Now how much I should generate? More than 7.5%. Then only I can convince you to retain. Got it? So this is how the decisions will be in dividend-ations. Okay, understood or not? Now, these are the 4 major chapters that we have. I completed these 4 chapters in one chart. Okay, 4 chapters only we have mainly. What are they? Financing decisions, investment decisions, working capital management decisions, dividend decisions. These 4 chapters only. Apart from these 4 chapters, what we have extra is ratio analysis, financial planning and analysis, that is ratio analysis we have. Then first chapter, introduction to financial management, objective and scope of financial management and types of financing, the theory. Okay, so these are the topics that you have. Beyond this you don't have anything. Okay, clear? So when I start my discussion, I'll be starting with financing decisions first. In that financing decisions, lot of topics are there, like cost of capital, capital structure, leverages, like that concepts are there. So first financing decisions we will discuss, we will complete that, and then adha enakku chapter na. Chapter does not mean cost of capital is one chapter. Chapter means financing decisions is one chapter. Okay, so we should complete all the units in that: cost of capital, capital structure, leverages, then theories. We have capital structure theories like a net income approach, net operating income approach, Modigliani and Miller approach, traditional approach, like that some theories are there. With that, that chapter will be over. Then we will go to the capital budgeting. Okay, then we will see dividend decisions and last working capital management decisions. Okay, this is the flow in which we will be discussing. Then next, actually this chart has got a connection in reality also, in our life, everyone's life. Okay, when you do financing decisions, what you are trying to do? You are convincing the people to give money. Correct? Then when you do investment, it is yours. Okay, then meeting the day-to-day operations is known as working capital management decisions. Okay, now proposing a girl is financing decision. ஒத்துக்கிறீங்களா? Yes or no? If you are not convincing, she will not agree. So you have to tell all lies and you have to convince her. So it is financing decision. Okay. Once married, it is yours. So investment decision. Okay. Then running the family is working capital management decisions. After 1 year, outcome will be there. If it is boy child, then retained earnings. If it is girl child, dividend. Will you agree? How, sir? Because girl will not stay with you, na. Girl will be going to a different family, so dividend decision. Boy will be with you only until the time he gets married, you need to take care. So retained earnings. Okay, you understood? This is the reality of life also. Okay, fine. Then, so we are starting with now proposing girl. Okay, financing decision. Okay. So now, before moving on to financing decision, that we will see later, but there are some other aspects. We are still in the introduction only. So first chapter that we will be starting with be financing decisions. Right now we have some more points in this introduction chapter. We will complete that and next we will start with the financing decisions. Is it clear? Okay. Now there are two objectives of financial management. So far we did not write what is financial management. We have just written financial management involves what? Management of funds. But what is really financial management? Financial management is the process of decision making. Correct? Is the process of decision making. Financial management is the process of decision making regarding what? Regarding procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Okay. So this is the meaning of financial management here. So now any decision making should have an objective, correct? For example, why you joined here? No, why you joined? To pass, objective. You understood? Clear? And why you joined CA? To settle in life. Means every decision will have an objective. Will you agree with me? Like that, in financial management, when we take the decisions relating to procurement of funds and utilization of funds, there will be an objective. What is that objective? Is it maximizing the profit or maximizing the wealth? Okay. So there are two objectives of financial management. So every decision needs an objective. Without objective, decision cannot be taken. Because without objective, what decision to be taken? Correct or not? So therefore, what is that objective? You understood or not? So is it profit or is it wealth? Okay. So there are twin objectives. Objectives of financial management. Objective of financial management. That is objective behind taking decisions. Objective behind taking decisions. What is the objective behind taking decisions? Two objectives are there, that is profit maximization and wealth maximization. Profit maximization and wealth maximization. This wealth maximization is also known as value maximization. Okay. Wealth maximization or value maximization. These are the two objectives of financial management. What are the four decisions of financial management? Four decisions. Four major decisions that we take. Financing decision, Investmentation, working capital managementation. Okay, what is the objective behind these two? Either profit maximization or value or wealth maximization. Clear? Profit maximization you can understand. What is that? Maximize profit. What is profit? Revenue minus cost. Okay. So profit maximization means what? So maximize the profit. What is profit? Nothing but revenue minus cost. Okay. In profit maximization, maximize the profit. What is profit? Nothing but revenue minus cost. Then in wealth maximization, what is the meaning of that wealth or value? Nothing but, shareholders value, share price maximization. Got it? What is wealth maximization? Share price maximization. Okay. So wealth or value refers to share price. Share price maximization. Okay. And this we will try to understand with a simple example. And to understand this example, you should be having some knowledge of time value of money. I am assuming that you have some simple knowledge of time value of money. Time value of money, theriyuma? That is, when you get some amount in future, what is its present value? That is known as time value of money. Okay. So, fine. I'll explain that through this illustration itself. Say, from, this Tirupati, from Tirupati to Tirumala, one road needs to be laid down. Because, there was a requirement to lay down the road. They already pottaanga illaya? Sabarimala. So Sabarimala, what has happened? It is very, very difficult for many people to reach the shrine in the top of the hill. So one road needs to be laid down so that the buses and all can go to the temple. Okay. To lay down the road, say there is an investment that is required. Some money is required. And that investment is rupees 100 crores. To lay down the road, the investment required is 100 crores. But how that investment can be recovered? So government is not doing. One private person is doing, say L&T or some real estate developers are doing it. Okay. So investment is 100 crores. How they will recover? Toll charges, correct? And toll charges minus some expenses will be there, na? Collection agents will be there and expense will be there. So some money they will be getting, correct? Inflow in the form of toll revenue. Okay. So cash inflows, they will get for 5 years. And after 5 years, they should not collect, because this is like build, operate, transfer project. Generally, government will not allow them to collect it lifelong. Okay. So it will be like you build it, you operate it. After a period when you recover your investment, you give. Example, today if you see a lot of toll gates, 10 years before toll gates and all, now it will be opened for free. You would have observed. 10 years before also toll gates was there. But now by this time they would have recovered money. So now they will open it for free. Got it? So like that, this is known as build, operate, transfer. So what has happened? Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 and year 5, some money is earned. That is, year 1 in the form of toll revenue, some 20 crores they got. And year 2, 40 crores. Year 3, some 30 crores. Year 4, 10 crores. And year 5, some 15 crores. Okay. This much they got, not beyond this. And after 5 years, they cannot. So in this 5 years only, whatever they get, they should realize. Okay. Now, what is the total? What is the total? Total is how much? 115. Okay, 115 crores they got in 5 years. Now you tell me, is it advisable to invest in this project or not? Is it advisable to invest in this project or not? Your answer is no. Your answer, yes. Why yes? 15 crores you are getting extra. Super. Why you are telling no? This is profit maximization. That is value maximization. Understood? When you see only the number, then your objective is profit maximization. But when you discount for the time, that is known as value maximization or wealth maximization. Got it? Now let's see. If my objective is profit maximization, okay? So profit maximization objective. Profit maximization objective. If the objective is profit maximization, what is the return that I get on investment? Return on investment equals to 15 crores or 15%, correct? Correct, appa. 15 crores, that is effectively 115 minus 100, 15 crores or 15%, that is 15 divided by 100, so 15%. So therefore, what would be my decision? Accept the project, correct? Accept the project. So invest in this. Suppose if my objective is wealth maximization objective. Now listen, I should never compare these numbers directly. Why I should never compare these numbers directly? Because 20 crores earned in first year cannot be compared with 40 crores earned in the second year. Why? Because money has got a value, time value, okay? That money has got a time value. You discount it. Why should I discount it? Let me give you another example to get it. Now, you joined in one company. When you joined in a company, your salary is 50,000 rupees. Your salary is 50,000 rupees. Now, next year, they are increasing it to 55,000 rupees. Will you be happy or not? Will you be happy or not? First year, 50,000 they gave you. Second year, they are giving you 55,000. They gave you 10% increase. Will you be happy or not? Now, I will not be happy. I'll tell you why. Whatever is the standard of living that I had in first year, I am maintaining the same standard of living in second year because there is an inflation of 10%. Correct. Today, I purchased rice, 1 kilo rice 40. Next year, the same 1 kilo rice is not 40, it is 44. Then whatever increase that they give will go to that itself. Then what will come into my pocket? Can I improve my standard of living? No. I can always be like this. They will give increment. But what is that increment? Equal to inflation. What are you getting? Suppose if they give increment which is, this year 50,000, next year 70,000 per month. Yes, definitely I will go for it. I'll be very, very happy. Why? 20,000 on 50,000 will be how much? How much percentage? 10% 5 par, 20% 10, 40%. Correct? 50,000 base par, numerator 20,000. How much increase I got? 40%. Inflation is how much? Maximum 10 only. Still I get 30%. I am very happy. Are you getting this? Like that, money anyhow will increase. Money anyhow will increase. So now, when money anyhow will increase, anyhow it has some increasing value. Put 100 rupees today in FD. What will happen if 10% is the interest rate? It will become 110. Again put the same 110. Again it will grow by 10%. Correct or not? So therefore, you should never take the numbers directly. Remove that time value. How to remove the time value? Here I took the interest rate, correct? Like that, one discounting rate we should have. That much we need to take out. Okay? That much we need to take out. So therefore, see this. Year 1, year 1, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 and year 5. What are the numbers? 20, 40, 30, 10, 15. Now do the discounting. How to do the discounting? You need to multiply it with a present value factor at 10%. Say I am taking 10% as the interest rate. I am taking 10% as the interest rate. So now, how to get present value factor at 10%? சுத்தமா தெரியாதா? 1 divided by 1.1. Okay, I'll give you the logic behind it. Listen carefully. That is, today I have 100 rupees, sir. Today I have 100 rupees. 0 times 0 I have 100. Don't write, just listen. Today I have 100. And in first year, how much it will be if 10% is the interest? 110. Correct? How I got 110? How I got 110? 100 plus 100 into 10%. Okay? Then, second year, I will be getting 121. How? 110 plus 110 into 10%. Can I break that further? 100 plus 100 into 10%. Correct? Adane 110. Again, on this plus 100 plus 100 into 10% into 10%. Correct? Can I write this way? You understood? First 100 on that 10% is 110. Again on that 10% is 121. How? Base 100. First year 100 into 10%. That will become principal for the second year. Again on that 10%. Correct? Now, in this, if I take 100 as common, if I take 100 as common, what will be there? 1 plus 10%. Correct, Appa? Yes or no? Then, in this, if I take 100 plus 100 into 10% as common, 1 plus 10%. Again take 100 as common, 1 plus 10% into 1 plus 10%. So 100 into 1 plus 10% square. Correct? Yes or no? Now 100 is the present value. 100 is the present value. Now how to get the future value? Present value into 1 plus, what is 10%? Interest rate, correct? Can I take it as R? Okay, then second year, how much you got? Present value into 1 plus R square. Like that third year, fourth year, fifth year. So at any given point of time, future value equal to present value into 1 plus R whole power n. Correct? Yes or no? Then what will be present value? 1 divided by, that is future value divided by 1, future value divided by 1 plus R whole power n. Got it? So future value is present value into 1 plus R whole power, and then present value will be future value divided by 1 plus r whole power n. Now I'll change this a little bit. Future value into 1 divided by 1 plus r whole power n. Correct? So here in this I need present value or future value. In this I need to compare at present only, na? Sir, when I am investing today, so I need to do the comparison today only. Correct? So what I will do, I will bring all future cash inflows to the present. I'll bring all future cash inflows to the present. So for doing this, for bringing the cash inflows of the future to the present, I have to get the present value calculation. Correct? Now what is the present value calculation? Future value into 1 divided by 1 plus r whole power n. Correct? Now see this. What is this 1 divided by 1 plus, what is taken as the rate? 10% means 0.1. Correct? This is for first year. Second year, 1 divided by 1 plus 0.1 square. Correct? So now what is that we need to do for discounting? 1 divided by 1.1 will be for first year. 1 divided by 1.1 again square will be for second year. It can be easily done in your calculator. So not that every time you have to write this way. So this present value will be 1 divided by 1.1. When you press equal to, you will get 0.909. You don't have calculator? 1 divided by 1.1. 1 divided by 1.1. 0.909. Okay va? Innor vaati equal to press pannunga. Again press equal to 0.826. Correct? You are getting 0.826 means already square it is doing. Your calculator is doing the square. Again press equal to 0.7513. Correct? Again when you press equals to, you will get 0.682. Correct? Again you press equals to 0.621. Yes? So this is how we need to calculate. Okay? Any other factor, 15% means 1 divided by 1.15. And in exam, please remember, in exam, if they give this present value factor, take that present value factor directly. Don't do in your calculator. Because when they give, they would have given for 4 digits, 5 digits. You take that and you do. Suppose when you are calculating, round off to 3 digits. Round it up to 3 digits. For example, you take again 1 divided by 1.1. 1 divided by 1.1, 0.9090 like that. So 0.909 we took. Then equals to, you press 0.826. Then, so we took 826. Again press equals to 0.7513. Thereafter 6830. Okay. So we should take 683. Round off. Like that you should round off. Then again 0.6209. So we are rounding off to 621. You understood? No. So like that, take it to 3 digits in exam when they have not given the factor in the question. If they have given factor in the question, you follow that factor only. Okay. So when you do this, then you need to multiply this and you will be getting the present value. Present value factor and present value. How much? Calculate. Multiply this. 18.18. 40 into 0.826. 33.04. 30 into 0.7513. 22.539. Okay. 10 into 0.683, 6.83. 15 into 0.621, 9.315. Okay, total. $89.904. Now see this. Investment is how much? 100. Correct? Investment is 100. But what is the return that you are getting? Investment is 100. But present value of cash inflows. Present value of cash inflows is 89.04. So NPV, net present value. What is net present value means? Present value of cash inflows minus investment. Okay. Net present value, that is 89.04 minus investment is 100, is negative. Correct? Negative. So we need to reject the project. We need to reject the project. Understood? Clear? Are you getting this? We need to reject the project if you follow wealth maximization objective. Okay. Now, which should be followed, sir? Is it profit maximization or wealth maximization? Which should be followed? So, generally in the past, I mean to say some 50 years before and all, we used to follow profit maximization. But now, the importance of this time value of money has increased. So whenever there is an increase in the money, it's not just because of real increase, it's maybe because of the time value. Correct? So for example, we discussed now that 50,000, 5,000 rupees. So it's not just, the increase means not blindly, don't think that it is increase, because on the other side, the interest rates are also increasing. Therefore, we need to prefer wealth maximization over profit maximization. So which is superior? Wealth maximization should be preferred over profit maximization. Are you understanding this? Okay. So these are the two objectives which I said: wealth maximization and profit maximization. We'll take a break for 10 minutes and thereafter we will see the notes. Handout you got na? So in that there are some concepts that we will discuss. Okay. Tomorrow I will start with financing decisions.